Good morning, members. I apologize for you being late. We're starting late.
We scheduled it on Friday.
Today's date is Thursday, March 9th. I'd like to call the meeting of the Environment, Natural Resources Policy and Finance Committee to order. Representative Heinzman, we have the minutes before us from March 8th, 2017. Would you move the minutes, please?
I would.
Thank you. Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor of the minutes as presented say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The minutes are approved. Members, today, just a couple of housekeeping things here. First of all, first I want to introduce, there's a couple of students here from the Duluth East High School. They've got a project that they're doing and they need to sit in on some sort of government activity. I'm not sure that this is all that exciting today. I apologize, you know. We're not going to throw any food at each other or anything, so. But welcome and thank you for being here. And Duluth East and Roseau have a proud history of significant rivalry in hockey. So, and of course, Roseau almost always wins. And then, members, we will be adjourning here a little early today. We have floor session that starts at 10. So, and you know how I feel about being punctual. By the way, we started a little late today because members were tardy for Mr. Fabian's class. Please be on time. Representative Lehman.
Mr. Chair, could I just note that the Grand Rapids High School hockey team is playing tonight? And they always win as well?
Yes. And we love those teams from central Minnesota.
That's Central Northern.
All right. And so what I would like to do first is have Representative Lueck and Ms. Lewis come up to the witness table, please. So, members, I've been in the legislature for a little over 6 years, and my first year in the legislature, Chair McNamara asked me to carry one of the lands bills, and I had the privilege to work with Kathy Lewis, and I have to tell you that she is a true professional. If she ever told me something, I learned to say, just nod my head, and this will be the last lands bill that we think that Ms. Lewis is going to be presenting. She has announced that she's going to be leaving employment at the DNR, and if somebody outside of this building is looking for a great employee, I would encourage them to find Kathy Lewis. So Kathy, I just want to say thank you to you for the extremely good work that you've done, your immense professionalism, and your positive attitude. I've really enjoyed working with you, and you set a fine example for everybody in the state of Minnesota. So thank you very much for your service.
Mr. Chair, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
And the donuts and so forth that are here are in honor of that. And by the way, it did come out of my Target too, so. Just saying. Okay. So thank you. Yeah. And most of it's going to come from the Iron Range too. So, so before us today, we have the lands bill, House File 1451. And I'll move that bill, 1451, to go to Ways and Means. Representative Lueck, I'll do that for you. I'll let you address your amendments to get it in the shape that you would like, and we'll take it from there. So, Representative Lueck, to your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members, and I want to echo your comments, Ms. Lewis. We over in the mining and I don't know what we called it 2 years ago. The other committee, Chair Hackbarth's committee, we worked through these same kind of bills, and people don't have any idea how much detail work there is to put these things together, and the coordination it takes with literally counties all over the state. But anyway, what this bill does, it's an administrative bill. It's necessary when we sell certain types of land, whether it be county tax forfeited or DNR-owned land. And this particular bill puts together properties that are laid out there in over 18 counties throughout the state of Minnesota, well over 1,000 acres, and something in the neighborhood of $2.3 million worth of property that would be put back on the private sector. There's a variety of different types of lands that are named in here. I'm not going to go into that kind of detail. Rely on Ms. Lewis for that. And I do have a DE amendment. This thing, we work on this right up until the very end. Yeah, and so the DE amendment, I'd like to move that, Chair, to get that in place, and then there's a couple of amendments to the DE amendment.
Okay, so, members, the DE2 is before us. All those in favor of the DE2 signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, the amendment is adopted.
And then, Mr. Chair, we have two other amendments to the DE amendment that would bring that, I guess if we could start with the A2 amendment, and that provides some more detailed adjustment. We just got to get these things right.
Okay. Members, the A2 is before us. All those in favor of the A2 signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Okay, the A2 is adopted.
And Mr. Chair, we have the A3. We just need one more minor change, and we're ready to go.
Members, the A3, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The A3 is adopted. All right, Representative Lueck, your bill is in the shape that you would like. Ms. Lewis, would you be so kind as to walk us through it, please?
Mr. Chair, members, Kathy Lewis, Lands and Minerals, DNR. What I'm going to be working from is the DE2 amendment. And as Representative Lueck stated, most of this concerns tax forfeited land. There's a few DNR parcels and a Minnesota Historical Society parcel in the bill. For the tax forfeited parcels, there's a lot of work behind the scenes. Under the state law, the DNR has review and approval authority for most tax forfeited lands prior to sale. And so we work with the counties. When we have some particular issues, they look at those issues with us. You can see in the bill that there's a few cases that there's easements reserved, and that's part of our process of working with the counties. You don't see behind the scenes that sometimes we will say to a county, do you know about this natural resource issue? Or, we really recommend you don't sell this. And then they don't bring those parcels forward. So that's one of the items you don't see in the process. So I'm going to walk through the bill section by section fairly quickly. So starting with section 1, this comes from the original House File 1451. It's a DNR provision. It concerns a program that is fairly new. It's called an exchange of road easements program, and we exchange existing easements with other parties. What this amendment does is recognize that we can exchange a road easement with another party where the road easement acres are greater than the state, but we won't pay them for the difference. Section 2 of the bill concerns DNR also. This is forestry real estate leases, and there's a provision in here that we can require a performance bond if there's improvements that are on the property. We haven't been encountering lately some situations where the lessees have not removed their improvements, and they're a cost to us to remove. As you know, this is not retroactive, so this would only apply to new leases and renewal of existing leases. Section 3 of the bill is also from DNR. This is the Cloquet office that we have. Back in 2011, we had legislation authorizing a private sale. At that time, we were working with the city. That provision and opportunity did not come through, but now we have an opportunity to work with a private party to do a direct sale. So we're modifying the language from the 2011 law. It would be at fair market value. Section 4 of the bill is just a cleanup. We have this DNR properties were exchanged in 2015, and this just cleans up the boundary of the Cloquet Valley State Forest to recognize those properties not owned by the state any longer. Section 5 is the start of the tax forfeited land provisions. Section 5 is from House File 940, which was Representative Bliss. There's actually very similar, it's the same bill with legal descriptions written out differently. It's House File 1728 with Representative Gorcel, and these are tax forfeited lands bordering water in Beltrami County. Section 6 is actually DNR. It's a small parcel in Big Stone County. It's bordering Big Stone Lake, and it's a parcel that's not needed for natural resource purposes, and so it's authorizing the sale. Section 7 of the bill is from House File 1513, Representative Cornish. This is authorizing sale of tax forfeited lands in Blue Earth County. Sections 8 and 9 are from House File 2144 and 2135 from Representative Sundin, and this authorizes sale of tax forfeited lands in Carlton County. Section 10 of the bill and 11 are from House File 1625. This is from Representative Bliss, authorizing sale of tax forfeited lands in Cass County. Sections 12 and 13 are from House File 1337, Representative B. Johnson. This is authorizing conveyance of land in Chisago County. Section 14 is from House File 1536, Representative Drazkowski. This is authorizing tax forfeited land conveyance in Goodhue County. Section 15 of the bill is from House File 2042, Representative Pryor. It's authorizing tax forfeited lands being sold in Hennepin County. Section 16 of the bill is from House File 1082. It's from Representative Lehman. It's authorizing sale of tax forfeited land in Itasca County. Section 17 of the bill is from House File 1792, Representative Baker. It's authorizing sale of tax forfeited land in Candy Ojai County. Sections 18 to 20 are from House File 1690, Representative Eklund. It's authorizing sale of land, tax forfeited land in Lake County. Section 21 is from House File 108, Representative Rorick. It's authorizing sale of tax forfeited land in Pine County. Section 22 is from House File 1216, Representative Keel, authorizing sale of tax forfeited land in Polk County. Section 23 is from House File 1971, Representative Torkelson. This is property that's actually controlled by the Minnesota Historical Society, and it authorizes the sale of the land, conversion of the land to the Lower Sioux Indian community to remain available for use as a historic site. Section 24 of the bill is a DNR provision. This is in Roseau County. This is part of our strategic land asset management project that we've been working with the county. It authorizes the sale of 704 acres of consolidated conservation area land in the county. Consolidated conservation lands are managed by the DNR, but the actual sale is by the counties. The revenue is split 50% to the state and 50% to the counties. What this bill does is authorizes the sale, because sale is not otherwise authorized unless they were agricultural lands. It is up to the county for when they sell them, and even if they sell them, so they can still decide whether or not to sell them, but this authorizes them to sell. Section 25 of the bill is from Representative Fabian. It is for the sale of tax forfeited lands in Roseau County. Section 26 is from the DNR. It's a small parcel that borders this Little Grand and Grand Lake. And this is actually, we had legislation in 2008 where the DNR acquired this property from tax forfeited status. Well, now that they've worked with the area for a while, they said, you know, this property is best used for snowmobile traffic between the lakes. Well, that's not suitable for aquatic management area. So we're basically reversing the transaction and conveying it back to tax forfeited status. The DNR used funds from the Outdoor Heritage Fund to acquire the land, and so the money that we received from the county would go back to the Outdoor Heritage Fund. Sections 27 through 31 of the bill are from House File 847. This is Representative Eklund, and the A2 amendment modified these provisions. Did not add any lands to these sections. What it moved was it moved 3 parcels of land from a section that did not identify that it bordered water to the section that it did border water. So there was no substantive change with the A2 amendment. Section 32 of the bill is from House File 567. It's from Representative Backer, and it authorizes the sale of tax forfeited lands in Traverse County. Section 33 of the bill is from House File 364, Representative Detmer. This authorizes sale of tax forfeited land in Washington County. Section 34 of the bill is from House File 1709, Representative Cornish. This authorizes sale of tax forfeited land in Wampanoag County. And finally, Section 35 is from House File 1565, Representative Backer, authorizes sale of tax forfeited land in Wilkin County. Overall, the tax forfeited lands total about 1,112 acres. Looking at primarily assessed value, it has an estimated total value of $2.3 million. And as Representative Lueck indicated, this is very important to the local communities, and they really appreciate the work on the bill.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis. Representative Lueck. Any questions, members? Very good. Just want to say thank you again, Ms. Lewis, Representative Lueck. Good work on this. Nice to see that we've got the SLAM program moving a little bit. I appreciate that. So with that, members, if there's no further discussion to the bill, all those in favor of House File 1451 as amended to go to Ways and Means, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? You're on your way to Ways and Means, Representative Lueck. Thank you, Ms. Lewis, and congratulations on a fine career. Thank you for your service. Next, we'd like to have MPCA come back down again. I'll remind members that we will be leaving early today. Session starts at 10. So, yeah, this would be an expedited permit here today, Mr. Kudelka, okay?
Mr. Chair and committee members, I could start if you'd like. You all have the presentation in your packet. For the record, my name is Kurt Kudelka. I'm Assistant Commissioner for the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency, working with the land issues. You have in your packet, we're starting back up on slide 40, just to follow along until we get the screen up here. And this is our land program. So on the front there, we have a picture of a landfill that our closed landfill program was doing work on, and it's we have 109 landfills in the program where the state has the perpetual care of. On the next slide, our land program really covers a number of areas. I'm going to just quickly highlight some of them because we'll go into more details when we talk about the funding and where each of the appropriations are, because this is a little different than the air and water areas. One of the first things we talk about is our solid waste programs, and you see our percentage there of a statewide 48% recycling rate. We also have that top end of the solid waste hierarchy you'll hear us refer to, and that's reuse, reduce, recycle, compost, finding additional uses, economic value out of the waste we create versus the disposal on waste energy or landfilling. We do a lot of work on cleaning up properties. Some of that is responsible parties that are doing the work and need to be cleaned up, but also aiding third parties that are doing cleanup for development. And that's where you see we've had 80,000 acres cumulatively of land that's been cleaned up and returned to productive use. And with our other slides also, just a little bit on our compliance record with our land permits. The next slide goes into our land program and talks about the various funding mixes in here. And this is where you see the remedial.
Commissioner Kudelka, Representative Hoppe has a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Mr. Kudelka, I'm just wondering about the solid waste management policy plan. I think it was due by the end of December 31st, the end of last year. And I think I've got part of a draft. I don't have the whole thing. I'm just wondering, do you have timing for the whole thing coming out?
Commissioner Kudelka.
Mr. Chair and committee members, we received a number of comments and have been doing some extensive redrafting of it to address those comments. Our hope is in the coming weeks, we're finalizing it as we speak.
Representative Hockey.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. One quick follow-up. I'm looking forward to seeing it in the next few weeks. I've, I guess, recently developed an interest in this, and I'd like to see what the final plan is. Thank you.
Representative Hornstein.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Also on the solid waste topic, I know that we passed legislation in 2014 that had some additional expectations of larger businesses in terms of recycling, providing recycling opportunities. But that was really not, the effective date was, I think, this summer, past summer. Do you have a sense of how that's going, you know, in terms of the cooperation we may be getting on that? I know that you would be needing to enforce that if some of the businesses fell short of the expectations.
Commissioner Kudelka.
Mr. Chair and committee members, I think we've seen mixed results. You're right, there was a delayed implementation. We have seen some of them. For instance, if you go to your Holiday gas station, you will see recycling bins, blue ones, showing up at all of them, and a number of other places having additional ones. At fast food chains, you won't find those recycling opportunities. This shows us that there are sectors that the agency and counties need to work with. Counties spend money on assistance program, working, for instance, with the Chamber's WasteWise. We will be dedicating some business assistance efforts to reach out to various sectors within the business community to help them bring them online. With any new regulation, our first piece is education and assistance before we move into enforcement. And we think we can get more out of that to start up that process here in the coming years or so, and then before moving on to enforcement.
Thank you, Mr.
Hornstein?
Chair.
You're welcome. Thank you. Proceed with your testimony, please.
Mr. Chair and committee members, the chart before you has our land programs and the various funds. This is the first time you will see the remediation fund appear on these bars. It's because a lot of our cleanup work is funded through the remediation fund, and we'll go into that a little bit more in detail. As you can see, over the last few biennium, that has been a steady number. Here's just a little closer look at our proposed budget in the land programs, where 69% of that is coming from our remediation program, and then a number of it from environmental and a large slice from our federal funding. So what does it pay for? And I think this is, again, we'll see the slides of direct appropriations. Here we have just shy of $45 million in the biennium. Going back to early on the slide when we talked about prevention, management, and cleanup, and you see that spectrum here also. We start with our prevention work, our underground tanks program inspections, making sure we prevent spills before we need to clean up, a cheaper effort than having to clean up a mess afterwards. Also, our solid waste activities and reduce, reuse, recycle, and composting. We move into our management area, where we now are dealing with how we handle hazardous waste, but also solid waste, for instance, landfill permits, transfer stations, those types of facilities. And finally, which is a high cost for us, is cleanup activities. That's our Superfund, our petroleum contaminated site locations, our closed landfill programs, where we are using the staffing out of this direct appropriation for those programs, and then also helping with our voluntary investigation and cleanup program, our VIC program, to help third parties clean up sites, and our emergency response efforts are part of this. The next piece is our statutory and open appropriations. This is where land differs from water and air. We have a number of dollars that come through in this area, and this really is project dollars for cleanups. When you think of a Superfund site that there is not a responsible party, for instance, we have a Baytown Bayport Superfund site where there is not a responsible party. All those costs for installing drinking water systems on private wells are picked up by the state because there's not a responsible party. This is where the agency uses this fund to take care of those activities, along with our closed landfill program and others that are not, there's not a responsible party. The need for the open appropriation is those costs may change in a short amount of time, where it may not have the ability to come back to the legislature. And that's why the legislature gave the ability for the agency to use the remediation fund in this way. And I'll use an example of our emergency management budget. We set the budget for the year based on historical numbers of what we had to use in the past. Within the last month, you may have seen there was a mercury spill in New Ulm. That cost alone was over $100,000 and was over our emergency management budget. As a result, because of the forethinking of the legislature and the allowing of the open appropriation, the agency was able to use the money from the remediation fund to take care of that situation as soon as possible. It needed instant reaction, and we were able to do that because we had the fund to pay the contractors to do the work. The next piece is we're moving on to our budget proposals. We talked a little bit yesterday about the additional pressures being felt by the states because of vapor intrusion and other changes in drinking water standards that are becoming more protective because of increased information. And that's what this cleaning up past pollution budget proposal is for. It is really in three parts. Our Superfund program, we've talked about vapor intrusion and the amount of work that has increased, not only in the number of sites, but these sites are much different than our previous sites. Before, they were groundwater issues. We would look to define the plume, make sure the wells that are going into that area for water source was clean. And many times this is in urban areas. So you're on a municipal system where that's taken care of, and then we work on the long-term cleanup. Now with vapors coming off of that same plume, it's made our jobs much more difficult, because now we're talking about multiple houses and looking at them to make sure there isn't vapor intrusion in those homes, getting access to it, doing the work for sampling, multiple rounds of sampling, and then also, if needed, a mitigation system to be put into it. That's a lot of personal one-on-one time that's either done by MPCA staff or the contractors that we hire out, because there's a lot of questions. When you start going into someone's home, there's a number of interest is increased by the public, rightfully so, and we want to make sure we can answer those questions. The other items are our Petro Fund programs and our tanks programs, and this would be funded through the Petro Fund. This would help with us looking at vapor because of petroleum cleanup sites, and also with our tank inspections. Over the last 4 years, we've had a 44% reduction in federal funding for our inspections. We have not met our targets as a result of seeing each of these sites once every 3 years, and this would allow for us to hire a couple staff to help make sure we get on that timeline to prevent leaks before they happen. It is a much cheaper effort there if we can stop a leak beforehand. The next item deals with groundwater protection at the construction and demolition landfills. And we've had some bills on this and had some discussions on it before. As you know, our C&D landfills are unlined landfills. And this was because at the time, the understanding was that we were putting in concrete, metal, wood, that we would not have contaminants coming from these landfills. Unfortunately, as we've been doing monitoring, 63% of those with monitoring system show exceedance of Department of Health drinking water standards. That doesn't include the part that the jury is still out on. We just have a small amount that we've been able to give the all clear to. And this is a result of changing materials that are going in, chemicals, adhesives, plastics, and also a better understanding. We've been working for a year with a work group of public and private landfill owners, along with contractors, to look at how we want to create the system moving forward. We know we have to start a rulemaking to address the issue also. And one of the things that come up is the fiscal issue with dealing with the problem, especially when these are owned by county facilities. And so that's what this effort is to look at. It really is to help in a couple of ways for grants to go out to other entities. For instance, projects that would reduce what goes into a landfill. If we can find an alternative way to recycle a product and keep it out of a landfill, we're going to be able to make sure that we don't have that pollution potential. That goes back to that hierarchy. We're going to prevent before we start looking at managing. When we look at managing and cleanup, extent and magnitude grants going out to these landfills to really determine how large are these plumes. We have a circle around the landfill having hits showing they're over the drinking water standard. We don't know how far and what the magnitude and how many private wells may or may not be impacted. So grants to help local units of government to do that. And then also incentives for those that may want to move to a transfer station system or close a C&D landfill because there may be another one in the county that can serve the same purpose, or liners. But we'd really like to focus on those first two items, the prevention and also the extent and magnitude studies. The extent and magnitude studies, when we've been talking with the solid waste administrators, is where they would really like to focus these grant dollars. That's it for the land.
Questions, members? Who do we have? Representative Wagenius.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just going back to your past cleanup, it's hard to grasp what.
Could you speak into the microphone, please?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It,
I just want you to be heard.
it's hard to understand without a context what it means to spend 1.35 million from the remediation fund on Superfund program. So do we have a slide that shows us how many Superfund sites are out there, what stage we are in completing them, kind of the big picture? When will we have finished with these Superfund sites? Are we on a good trajectory? So I have no context. Did I miss it in another presentation?
Commissioner Kudelka.
Mr. Chair and committee members, the MMB budget sheet does have that additional details. There really are 3 focus areas for Superfund. These dollars will help with staff to manage these types of projects and do that additional work. One is sites that were previously closed before we were understood vapors. And so to your question, what's the universe? We're looking at 1,400 Superfund sites where we're needing to look back at and deal with, is there issues with vapors? We've prioritized 150 of them because of their susceptibility to groundwater, the pollutants, and also because they're close to schools and daycares. Those are our first ones, and we've started to work on that. It's going to take a number of years to go through all 1,400. So this is why this is going to be the start of trying to close that gap. With petroleum products, we've prioritized 750 vapor sites, and we're on our efforts through there. Drinking water standards have changed. For instance, for TCE, the degreaser I mentioned yesterday, there are about 600 sites there. We're prioritizing those that are on private drinking water systems. Department of Health has a good monitoring system for those on municipal systems. So that's really looking back at sites that we've done work on, and because of increased knowledge, we have to go back. That's the first. The second really is those that are coming to our shop, our site assessment. We have 110 sites right now that we have some information that there's potential issue there and needs to have investigation. So that could be a property next to it. While they were doing renovation, they saw that contamination was leaking over onto their property and turned that into the state. It is now our duty to go back and look at that to see what is the full impact of that area. And then as we've been dealing with vapor issues, the third issue is for some of our active sites, we have, once we've made sure we cut the pathway to human exposure, the underlying cleanup of an aquifer, we've had to put a hold on some of that to address the increased pressures we're seeing with active vapor sites. Because we always want to prioritize making sure we ensure human health is protected, the individuals in the homes or the businesses. So we've been having to shift project dollars and people from some of that long-term cleanup to the immediate issue of ensuring that we've put a mitigation system into it or a drinking water system into there. In terms of how long this is going to take, this is going to be a multi-year effort. This is a start of this process. It really, this list doesn't stay where it is. It keeps being added to, so it's hard for us to give a clear definition, but this is the start of multiple efforts we're doing, including internal reprioritization. We'll be looking at spending plans to adjust more dollars going to projects, and a multi-year effort that will have to be needed.
Representative Wagenius.
I still think it would be helpful to have a chart with how much is it, like, we're spending this much this year and we'll solve this much of the known problem. I mean, I understand that you don't know it all, but I can't, is this, when you talk about a multi-year effort, is it a 20-year effort? Is it a 10-year effort? So it feels like we're lacking a context, and I just don't know what context. Let's see the big picture.
Commissioner Kudelka.
Mr. Chair and committee members, we can provide some more information on that. It won't be perfect because each site's going to be different on how long it takes once we get into them, but we can give you some idea.
Thank you. Representative Becker-Finn.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and my questions were related to the same issue. So on the extra handout here about the vapor intrusion work, and you mentioned this, that there's 1,400 closed Superfund sites and 750 Petrofund sites. So that's over 2,000 sites total that would need to be reassessed. How many have been completed thus far,
Commissioner Kudelka.
if any?
Mr. Chair and committee members, those numbers are the look back of sites we've addressed to start with. And so we have been doing some amount of work on that. So for instance, in the petroleum, that 750, we've already looked through 257 of them and have determined no additional work needs to be done. We have had to open up 8 of those sites to do more work, and we've talked to the responsible party as a result. That is a 3% reopening of sites of those 750. So if we looked at it, that is probably over the entire amount, 20-some sites that additional work will need to be done. While it is a small amount, that is real impacts to people who live in those communities. In terms of our Superfund sites, I mentioned we've prioritized the first 150 because of a couple layers for GIS. We have been able to go through, reassess about 34 of them. 3 have been reopened up, and work has been done. That's an 8% reopen files percentage. And so if we extrapolate that over the 1,400 sites, we're looking at 114 sites that we're going to have to open up and do vapor intrusion. Now, the petroleum sites are dollars that the legislature has given us previously, and we're asking to continue that work because it was one-time dollars because of the way the Petro Fund sets that in between. For the Superfund dollars, this is one area we've had to slow down because of current sites that are active that are drawing our attention, and we are not able to provide what we'd like to. So this work on the Superfunds has trailed off a little.
Representative Becker-Finn.
So you're saying that's the first 150, and I just want to point out, if it's not difficult math, but we're looking at, at that rate, assuming we can keep up with that rate, we're talking about almost 10 years to get through those 1,400 sites. And I appreciate that you're trying to prioritize the 150 sites, but I just want to point out the scope of what we're talking about. And I grew up in a community that has a Superfund site in northern Minnesota in Cass Lake. And, these are communities sometimes that have been fighting to clean up the original problem for sometimes decades. And so now on top of this, we're asking these communities to wait another 10 years maybe to really know whether they're, it's safe for their kids to breathe the air in their homes. And so I just kind of wanted to point out the scope of what we're talking about here, because, we talk a lot about what the standards are and enforcing the standards. And I just want to kind of hit home that this is why it's important, because this cleanup can take a really, really, really long time. So thank you.
Thank you. Representative Eklund.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Real quickly, not all the CD landfills are unlined. Many in northern Minnesota are lined with the same material that sewage treatment ponds are lined with, heavy clay. And so I just want to caution you on this potential rulemaking that one size doesn't fit all, so we need to take that into account.
Thank you. Proceed.
Mr. Chair and committee members, our fourth budget area is the environmental assistance and cross-media efforts. And here this really is working with a lot of our grant dollars are coming through here, federal dollars. This is where we work on projects that cross across air, land, and water. And a perfect example is mercury. We have issues dealing with mercury in water. Land is how it is a lot of times put on into water or to land. And then solid waste is another large location of where we get mercury, the products we use, and for instance, light bulbs or other types of products. This is the type of work that's covered in this funding area. As you can see here, up until last year, this funding area was pretty level. We did see a number of increases within the last budget, $2 million rural recycling and compost grants programs. We saw some increases for technical assistance for silica sand through EQV, and back in 14 and 15 to 16, 17, we saw a $4 million increase in SCORE grants. SCORE dollars are direct grants to counties to help with recycling and other solid waste activities. Our breakdown here is mostly environmental fund, but you see a large component of these dollars here are federal. And so what it pays for, the direct appropriations, you look at there just north of 63 million. A large chunk of this, for instance, is grants. 50 million of this is grants going out to other entities not being used by MPCA, although MPCA needs to manage those grants and make sure that the financial responsibility regulations are followed. And some of those examples of grants are SCORE dollars for recycling activities and the new rural recycling program. Environmental assistance grants, for instance, we give a large number of dollars to MINTAF, which is the University of Minnesota's technical assistance program, where they go out to businesses and look for ways for them to reduce their emissions or discharges that end up saving them a number of dollars, and also reduce the number of permits they may need and lessen their environmental impact. This is also where EQB is funded out of. The next slide is the statutory appropriations, and this is where you see our federal dollars really come in. The federal dollars come into us with strings attached. We have to use them for specific purposes, and those areas really fall into our monitoring efforts, whether that's water or air. It also deals with grants coming from outside, like AmeriCorps and Green Corps, where we help nonprofit organizations, just like business assistance effort, help them with stormwater issues or solid waste issues to make a difference in their communities. We do have 2 budget request items in this area. The first is our business-friendly data services effort. This will look familiar to you from 2 years ago. The agency requested dollars that was allocated for one time to help with the upgrade of our Tempo system. We have a large database that was antiquated. We have replaced that now with a new system, and we are moving to make advances to it. It's in place, but now it's time to add all the bells and whistles. And Minnesotans expect online services. We do our banking online. We order through Amazon, where we click in, put in the information, and just hit send, and that instantaneous activity is done. We've been working on putting on, let me back up. The platform allows for 200 of these automated type systems. We have been able to install 20 of them. We'd like to continue the funding at $400,000 a year to support the staff that's doing this work and continue to add services. You have in your packet a document that includes a workout plan for the next several years on what type of permits and that we would like to bring into the system as an effort. The next effort is EQB, and I will real quick turn that over to Director Seufert.
Welcome, Director Seifert. State your
Thank
name
you.
for the record, please.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and committee members. Will Seufert, Executive Director, Environmental Quality Board. Thank you for the opportunity to come before the committee again and present the governor's request for our budget in 18-19 to maintain and broaden our environmental review improvement work. In light of the rich debate we had last week, I think I'll be brief with my comments and just jump right into the governor's request.
Thank you.
We're proposing that a one-time investment we received in fiscal 16-17 for environmental review improvement be continued, and that we add 1 FTE to this effort to provide training and outreach to local governments. Having an environmental review program that's efficient and effective and meets the needs of Minnesota businesses and citizens requires an ongoing investment. In addition, local government or local partners have requested additional training, presentations, and guidance documents so they can be better prepared to complete the environmental review process. Over the past few years, we've made improvements aimed at providing better customer service and better environmental review outcomes. We publish the EQB monitor on a more frequent basis to reduce timelines that might slow down project development. We conduct targeted surveys to better assess the outcomes of the process and the satisfaction of those involved. We've initiated a rulemaking to update the mandatory categories that trigger EAWs and EISs. You heard a little bit about this from some of the testifiers last week. We've updated guidance documents to reduce confusion that can create unnecessary delays. And we've established an environmental review advisory panel of business, citizen, and local government leaders to make recommendations on opportunities to improve the environmental review program. This work requires ongoing support. That's what we're asking for with this budget item. We're also seeking to expand our outreach to local governments to create training opportunities that can assist parties undertaking environmental review. The EQB is committed to maintaining an environmental review program that is responsive to both the needs of communities throughout Minnesota to meaningfully engage in the decision-making process for proposed development, and the business community to be able to navigate the requirements of environmental review in a timely fashion. This initiative will further both of these goals. Thank you for your time.
Director Seifert, I just, I don't want to rehash last week's discussion, but I guess I would ask the FTE that you're asking for and the mission that you're trying to accomplish in here, why can that not just be done at MPCA?
Certainly. Mr. Chairman, as Assistant Commissioner Kudowka mentioned, we receive a direct appropriation for EQB operations, right? So our work, the work that we do towards our mission and within our jurisdiction is not work that the MPCA absorbs. It's work that we do under that direct appropriation. That funds a total complement of 6 staff right now. Okay, and as we discussed, some of the strategic planning, public engagement work is funded through that, is funded through those staff as well as, or is accomplished by those staff, excuse me, as well as our environmental review work, okay? 2 of those FTEs are funded out of a one-time appropriation, okay? And their work is on this environmental review improvement work that we're seeking resources to maintain that effort and broaden it a little bit more so we can get on the road, we can do more training, more outreach to local governments, because environmental review is largely done, about 60% of environmental reviews are done at the local level. Most of it's done outstate. So we want to broaden our outreach so we can better tailor some of the program improvements to the needs in Minnesota communities.
Thank you. I'll proceed with testimony.
That brings us to our 5th area. With that, I will turn it over to Deputy Commissioner.
Welcome, Commissioner Beaman. State your name, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, my name is Michelle Beeman. I'm the Deputy Commissioner at the Pollution Control Agency. And so this is the last category of our overall budget requests. And this is the Administrative Support Program. And so like every organization, we have the back office, all of the people who provide services for us, including HR, financial management, internal controls and risk assessment, our internal audit, communications, legal, online services. Again, they do what you all expect. They keep us running every day. We've been doing an increasing job of trying to keep that as efficient and as lean as possible. And in fact, we've really ramped up our continuous improvement projects, specifically in the area of administrative support. And in your packet, there are some handouts highlighting some of those continuous improvement projects. This is the overall trend line, and I think I want to be quite clear to point out, and I'll turn to Mr. Bunker for any detailed explanation. We have had a shift in how we have internally allocated costs, which accounts for a bit of the trend line going up, but it's not to reflect any increase in overall staffing levels. In fact, we've had a drop in, part of the complication has been the drop of the way Minute then is funded and how we've allocated internally to pay for our Minute costs. Mr. Bunker, is there anything more you want to point out about this?
Mr. Bunker, or Commissioner Bunker?
Just because.
Mr. Chair and members, if there are no other questions, be
Okay,
just fine.
that's fine. Just providing the opportunity.
Thank you. I just.
Thank you.
Yep. Proceed, please.
Thank you. This is a breakdown, again, of the overall pie for administrative support, special revenue, largely reflecting, again, our internal allocation costs where we are directing our resources back to our administrative support as centralized support for all of the programs. Those appropriations total at the $63.4 million. Again, the statutory cost allocation is the biggest piece of that. 93% of this budget program really, again, is that internal allocation to our support services. We have, again, done some reductions in staffing levels in several of the sub-programs within administrative support. And then finally, our last point is our agency-wide request for the compensation increase. We're trying to, as we've said, we're maintaining our service levels. The overall budget is, greater than the last biennium, but we do have an increase in compensation costs and insurance and things like that, as well as we've already referenced the additional projected cost that Minute will be charging us, which is our biggest increase within this pool of administrative costs. We'd like to maintain those delivered IT services. So, leave it at that. That, Mr. Chair, is the overall budget. We did have additional slides in here related to division by division. It's simply a repackaging of the same budget information in a different breakout. And I don't know if you want to go through those additionally or whether we're good at this point. So we stand for any questions.
Yeah, I don't know if we need to do that unless there's a strong desire on members to do that. But if we have, I think now is an appropriate time for questions or comments from committee members. Jeepers, you're like my 10th graders used to be in class. except when I gave him a little free time, then hee-haw. Okay. I think we're good. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, appreciate the presentation. Yeah. Should we just stare at each other now for half an hour? All right, so members, this is Thursday. Obviously, we'll be back on Tuesday again. I'm not 100% sure what we're going to be taking up at that time. I'm sure we'll be processing more bills and we got to finish some more overviews for some different agencies that will be included in our budget. And looking forward to a fun weekend and go ride your snowmobiles. It's going to be 15 below in Roseau tonight. With that, we're adjourned. Thank you, members.